Welcome back to Dan's Messy Garage. This is going to be part 6 of the AOD in the Monarch. My new parts came. I got the new pump casting, gears, stator, that's the piston that goes in the pump, retaining ring holds it all together. What I had to do is, since the fluid had metal in it from those gears grinding, I had to take the whole trans apart. I pulled all the guts out of it, took all the clutches apart, and cleaned the friction disc, the steels, and cleaned everything. Took hours. I didn't record any of that. I sprayed and cleaned all the particles out of the valve body area, and all that's clean. What I need to do now, which is really important, is I got to take the valve body itself apart, because there's a lot of valves and springs inside this thing. They go in each one of these cavities, and that's all got to be spotlessly clean. You can't even have one little metal particle in there, because it could jam up one of those valves and screw up the transmission. The pump goes together pretty easy. That's not a problem. The time is going to be taking the valve body apart, cleaning everything hospital clean, and putting it back together. Now, I do have an ultrasonic cleaner, and I plan to take, sorry I keep walking around, but I have to. I'm going to take the ultrasonic cleaner, and I'm going to put parts in, what do you call it, glass jars. If you watched any of my other videos, you know what I'm talking about. Like these glass jar things, and you put your cleaning solution and the parts in the jar, and then put it in the water. That way you're only using up a little bit of cleaning solution and not 4 or 5 gallons worth. And I can get 8 of those jars in there, so I can clean up 8 of those valves in the body at one time. And so I'll do that. In fact, I'll turn this on, get this water warmed up. Turn that on. And get the water. That's too hot. Let's go down. 45 degrees. Okay. So that's going to take a while for that water to heat up. I do have a trick to heat the water, but I have time, so I'm just going to let that heat up. And I'll get started. Here we go. I bought a kit, gasket kit. It's got a new gasket to go on the pump assembly to the case. Has a new square cut seal like an O-ring that goes around the casting. It has a new oil seal, goes in behind the bearing. So I'm going to pop that stuff in there, and then I'll assemble this pump and move on to the valve body. Okay, I thought I could push that piston in by hand, but I couldn't. I had to get the piston installer plastic thing to do it. It's in there correctly now. This hole needs to be opposite these 4 smaller holes at the bottom. Now I got to put on this new square cut seal that goes around the outside of the pump. That should be fairly easy. This fits in a groove. And after I get this on, I need to torque these 5 bolts to the maximum allowable torquage. Yeah, I'll have to look that up because I don't know exactly what it is. Get the seal on first. Well, I wish everything went on that easy. Alright, so we got new seal, new O seal here for the whatchamacallit, torque converter. Whoops. Everything's good and slippery. Ready to drop in there. Okay, first, look up the torque spec, tighten those bolts, and then I'll bring you guys back when I put it in the trans. Yeah, I'm going to drop the pump in the case. There's some couple critical dimensions that you take before you put it together. That assures that you actually have things together correctly. And the final measurement you take is from this surface here where the pump goes to the clutch face. There's a forward or intermediate clutch right here, that's second gear. And this is in the middle of the spec, so we're good. That also means everything is together correctly inside the case. You just take the pump assembly, and this has got 4, can I show you this? Where my thumb is here, there's 4 little holes that go in and line up with 4 holes in the case. But first, I gotta put a gasket on there. Let me do that. Of course, I left that in the other part of the garage. All right, I got it. Gonna open up the package with my oily hand. There we go. Whoops, let me get over there. All right, I'm gonna take a little trans fluid and smear it on this gasket. Doesn't really need it. I mean, there's trans fluid everywhere, but you know, it's not gonna hurt. Put some on there. Okay, so make sure that those 4 holes are lined up. The gasket's in correctly. See, it didn't fit that way, so I gotta flip it over. There, everything's lined up. Spread some more of that trans fluid in there. Oh, don't wreck it, you idiot. Okay. There we go. That looks good. The holes are lined up. So now I can drop that in. There's trans fluid around the lip of the trans case. There's trans fluid on that square cut seal that I just put on. And drop her down in there. Okay. Wow. Alright guys, you saw me drop that. I'm going to grab the camera here and see if I can show you how deadly accurate that drop was. If you look, if I can do this, my oily hands on this tripod. But if you look down the bolt holes, they line up perfectly with the threads. Now there's a way to do it by putting a guide pin in there, which is essentially just a bolt with the head cut off, and you slide it down. But I had a deadly accurate drop there, so we're good. So now the bolts I gotta look up the torque spec on these. In fact, I'm gonna have to put you guys on pause while I go find out what that is. I'll be right back. All right, 16 to 20. So, since I torque to the maximum allowable, I'm gonna go up to 20. Now, instruction video says to take a hammer or suitable object and make sure that the pump is all the way down in there before you tighten the bolts. And it is. It doesn't move anymore. So now, tighten these up. I should have got my speed wrench or even my little electric impact to help with this. Yeah, why not? Hang on, guys. You guys already know that I'm never fully prepared, so no surprise. All right, so I'm gonna go 10 and then 20. Ah, I need a socket. Stay down there, just stay, okay. Here we go. You guys probably might not be able to hear that click because it's really faint on light settings. You might hear it click when I get to the 20. But I can feel it. All right, we'll go to 20. Right there. You probably heard that. I'm giving them a double click. You always want to torque opposite. It's like putting on a tire on your car. Okay, now I'm just going to go around in a circle and double click them just for fun. Ah, this one wasn't tight. There we go. See, it's a good thing I checked them. Probably screwed up when I was telling you how you go opposites and missed that one. So that means I get to check them all again. All right, so next I'm going to be cleaning up the valve body. I got to take that thing all apart, clean it extremely clean. I'll be using the ultrasonic for that. Then the valve body goes on this area here, the trans. I'm going to start taking this valve body apart. I got a laptop here with video on it. The first thing we got to do is take this selector valve out of here. It's just got an E-clip. And then that slides out. That one's simple. I got this cute little parts tray here from my friend Cam. He brought them over. It's going to keep everything in line. I'll take them out, put them in there, take a picture of it before I take each valve out and put it in these little glass containers for the ultrasonic cleaner. Alright, so this next one, it's got a clip here. So I'm going to pull this clip out. And then the video says you got to kind of work this keeper out of here. There we go. And this is a valve, a spring, and a little like piston deal. See, I'm going to lay all this in this tray the way it comes out of here. So that's going to go there. God bless me. Now you need a little magnet to reach in here and get these others. Okay, it's got this piece. The thin end of this piece goes to that little piston valve deal. Got a spring. And the rest of this valve. Maybe let gravity do it. Got to wiggle it around with the magnet and it'll come out of there. There it goes. Just like that. So I'm going to lay that in the tray. Now, I'm not going to bore you with all this, but I'm going to do it, set them in the tray, take picture, and then I'm going to put them in those things and clean them up. I've got 5 of them in the ultrasonic cleaner right now, and I just pulled 6 more out from the first 6. This is not a valve here. So that one, that one, that one, that one, that. Okay, I pulled them out of there. They're in the trays. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, excuse me. All right. First one was here, that thing. And then those 5. And there's a bunch more. So I'm going to continue on, and it's a reverse process. You clean everything up, clean that thing up spotless clean, scrub out all the bores, oil stuff up, put them all back together the way you pulled them out. Plus I have the video that shows me exactly, you know, what to do on there. Oh, the guy's real good at it.
Let off the throttle,
and
he explains the engagement, keeps it from slamming. And
he explains what each valve does too. So I'm going to end this right here. This is going to be a long enough video as it is, and then I'll make a video of me putting this in the transmission. I need to do a couple things first. I got to put in the reverse first gear servo pusher inner thingy. This. There's a spring that goes on it and plus a cover. And I got the overdrive servo to put in there. 2-3 capacity or accumulator or something. And then the valve body go on. So that'll be in the next video. So thank you for watching Dan's Messy Garage, and I'll see you on the next part. Bye.